all sorts of different grapevines. We're going to do them in various directions, various sort of compositions, and try and mix them up into different dances as well. Focus mainly on Foxtrot to begin, because that's kind of the dance you think of when you think of grapevines, but they can definitely be transported to other dances as well. So we're going to start with the basic sort of ballroom technique of grapevines. Let's see, let's have just everybody behind me. Probably the best path to take would be down the floor this way, alongside. So as everybody gets behind us, sort of like here in this area, we will start our grapevines. Grapevines are a series of 4 steps. Some of you probably already know about them. Just start from the very beginning. They are a series of 4 steps. We're going to start with the right foot and head down the floor that way, and we're going to go on a diagonal. Towards the diagonal. I'll take a forward step on the right foot, side on the left, allowing the feet to turn about a quarter, then back on the right foot on the diagonal center, and then left foot side, turning the toes out about a quarter again. So we're going a quarter to the right, and a quarter back to the left. So once again, that's right foot forward, left foot side, quarter turn, right foot back, left foot side, quarter turn, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, and back, side. Just turn around, change weight. Actually, not turn around, so we just change direction. So we're going to go back to where we came. So instead of going to the right foot first, we're now going to go to the left foot first. Forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, and back. All right, so that's the composition of a grapevine. Pretty simple. It's 4 steps. You can, of course, string them together, make as many as you want, 4, 8, 12, 16. So now we're going to talk about the footwork of the grapevine. Now, in the ballroom dances, we usually use heels going forward. So the first forward step is going to be heel, and we're going to rise up to the toe. You don't have to rise up super high, but that's the maximum rise you reach is right as you arrive over the right toe. We are now going to step aside and relax our way back into the knees again. We're going to step back on the right foot, up to that right toe, and then on the side step, we squish down once more. So every time we're taking that side step, we're letting our weight soften into the knees. Every time we take a forward or back step, we're going up to the toes. And squish. Toes, and squish. And up, squish, and up, squish, up, and squish, and up. And stop right there. Shift weight. We're going to go back the other way, starting with the left foot. The left foot, heel toe, rise up, move the left toe, and then squish down onto the right. Up the left toe, and squish down to the right. Up, and lower, up, lower, up, lower, up, lower, up, lower. And that cycle of rise and fall is tricky for some people, especially if you're used to waltz, which has a 3-step cycle of rise and fall, where you begin to rise on the first step, you continue to rise on the second step, and then you're up on the third step. You have to complete that rise and fall cycle much faster. So make sure, if you're having trouble with the rise and fall, make sure that the first thing you think is get all the way up by the time you reach that first step, so that you are not continuing to go up beyond that point. Once you pass over that first step, keep coming down. Downwards again. All the way up by the time you reach the foot, keep coming down. All the way up, keep coming down. Now, this is not to say that you need to go really high, right? The grapevine that goes really high. We're not trying to get you to go way up high. We're just trying to say that however high you go, which is not very high, finish it by the time you reach that foot so that you can be coming down. Let's talk about timings next, I think, while we're still all apart before we get together. So timings in Foxtrot, very typical timing in Foxtrot is just to use all quicks or a single beat per step. So that's what we've been doing so far. That is, of course, quick, 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 or 1, 2, 3, 4. In addition, you could speed them up, slow them down. One very popular timing for a grapevine is slow and. Slow and means you're taking a beat and a half a beat. So it's slow and slow and slow. slowing down the first step and speeding up the second side step. Let's go the other way. With the left foot going this direction, go slow and slow and slow and slow. You'll notice when you do that and you can't quite squish as much because there's much less time. So those have even less rise and fall. They move much more across the floor. You can also combine your timings. For example, slow and for one and quick for another. So if we do the first one, slow, and then we go and quick, slow, and quick, slow, and quick. It's a really nice variation of the timing. Yeah? So we're going to use combinations of those timings in various orders. There's also additional ways we can mix up the timing, but we'll stick with those for today and put those together into various combinations. Now we're going to, we should do, what's that? Types, as in light to do that, let's get together. So first, let's just do a very simple combination of grapevines. And we're going to start with what we call tandem grapevines. Now, tandem means that with your partner, you're going to do them in the same direction. So we're going to move in the same direction together the entire time. And I'm moving outside partner throughout all my forward and back steps. That's tandem grapevines. Another way to dance them is oppositional, where we go towards each other and away from each other. Wow. Yeah, so this is more like promenade, counter promenade, those kinds of things. So we're going to do different variations of that as well. But let's start with a simple tandem one. Let's have actually the ladies behind Lorena, or the followers, I should say, behind Lorena, and the leaders behind me. And now that we know the step, we have to, of course, know how to get in and out of it. One very simple combination I'm going to start with is just a basic chain step. Chain step is an easy way to get into a grapevine. You just do a step forward, side, and close. This can be done in waltz or foxtrot. All right, so just a chain step will then get get the right foot free, and we'll start the grapevines from there. So it goes forward left, side right, close, and then with the right foot we will step into our grapevine forward, side, back, side. We've got a pretty long room today, so why don't we do 2 sets of grapevines, or 8 counts? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's. Forward, side, back, side. Someone let you do sort of chain step. Left foot forward. Forward, side, close, and then right foot forward. We'll do 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, repeat it. 5, 6, 7, stop, 8. And from here, we'll go back and do another chain step. Slow. Simple ending, yeah? All right. We're starting back with the right foot with a basic back chain, back, side, close, and then the left foot is free, and we're going to go back, side, forward, side, one more set, side, forward, side, and now back on the left foot, and we'll just dance another chain step, back, side, close, to get us back. Beginning. The timing of the chain steps for Foxtrot will be slow, quick. Waltz 1, 2, 3. We're going to start with Foxtrot. It's about to look like this. We'll go slow, quick, and I'm just going to shift her slightly out to the side so I have my right foot free to go outside partner. And from there, every single forward and back step of the grapevine will be outside partner. The forward steps for the gentleman will be outside partner right. And when we turn, we'll change to outside partner left. Back, side, forward, side, and back, side. And the chain step, the final chain step begins outside partner, and then you can slip back in line. Position back and forth. All right, so that's what it looks like. Let's now get together, find a partner.
Right, so if you think about it, well, why is this figure called a change step? Well, if you start with your dance position, typically, guys begin on the left foot, ladies, we begin on the right foot, yes? But we need the other foot, right? So the whole point of the change step is to switch our feet, right? So if you remember, slow, quick, then you've got to change weight, then you'll have the correct foot free. Likewise, ladies, the whole point of the change step, slow, quick, is to release the correct foot for my break, right? So bear bear that in mind. You've got to make sure to step on every beat so that we end up with the correct foot free. Second thing, on the, for connections for this, ladies, we always want to stay left. I know that at one point we're going to be outside partner here, but that's not my problem. Yeah, that's my partner's problem. So my job is to stay left. And the reason that this is important is because if we lose this hand for a second, if I stay left, he can pull me into whatever direction he wants, right? So I can feel exactly where he wants me to be, right? If I kind of take matters into my own hands and I fall out, he loses his grip. He can't do anything. I mean, what's he gonna do? Grab you by the bra strap? Like there's really nothing he can do. There's no grip. So the only way that I can give him a grip is to stay left. So I know it's supposed to be outside partner on this side eventually, but if we don't get there, that's not my problem, yeah? So if we do our job, ladies, that gives him then the ability to do his job, which is to switch us from one side to the other, right? So if I stay left, he can pull me and turn the body to make sure that now I'm aligned to go outside partner right. Yeah, does that make sense? So that's really, really important that I stay here so that he has maneuverability. If I don't do that, he has nothing to work with. Yes, we have this hand, and this is important, but really, there's only so much you can do. I'm always going for this hand. Always, 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 always. Yeah? And that gives him the ability to put me wherever he wants, right? And then I don't actually need to know what he's doing. You just kind of follow whatever the weight changes are, right? Because I'm staying there. And the very last thing on that slow and quick action, don't get too caught up on exactly where you need to hit the beat so much as when you go up, hover, 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 da-da, right? So what happens is that we're basically slowing down this action, so now I've got to hurry up on my next action. Does that make sense, right? So if you think about, again, what John was talking about, the importance of going up to toes, this is our point of control, right? As we're falling, this is a bad place to throw the brakes on. We've got a lot of momentum. It's not a great place to stop. So on the other hand, I mean, it's hard because we've got to, work our feet and have balance, but this naturally wants to come to a stop because I'm taking it's like riding a bike. If you ride a bike downhill, you have to throw the brakes on hard. If you start to go uphill, you can simply coast and you'll naturally come to a stop, right? So we want to control the action here at the top where I'm losing momentum, right? So if you're trying to do this slow and quick, just get to the top. Slow and quick, right? So you just hang out as long as you need to and fall because gravity will absolutely bring you down. Exactly. Right, so the free foot. So this looks pretty, but let me tell you, this is for balance, yes? It's like a kickstand. Like this is not just, oh, I'm pointing my feet because it's attractive. I'm pointing my feet because I'm not a ballerina and I can't do this for very long. So I use this foot for sure, yeah? So those are things that are going to help you take some control.
Let's do it one more time with this partner and then rotate.
Some confusion about whether it's in closed position or promenade. So here's the thing, by default, my assumption is it's closed, always, yeah? Unless I have really clear signals telling me that it's promenade, I think it's closed. So, as we do this change step, right, as far as I'm concerned, this thing is closed. There is no reason for me to think it's promenade, right? Now, let's say he wanted me to go to promenade, right? Let's say that's what he wanted, and I missed it, right? And I just kind of kept my feet closed, right? And then he takes me to promenade. Well, whatever, I mean, it's a little bit inelegant, right? But I can feel that change much better than the other way around. If I go to promenade and that's not what he wanted, this is gonna end badly. So even if you're not totally sure, gamble on closed because you can fix it much more easily than the other way around, right? Theoretically, it should be obvious, which means in a second, gentlemen, you need to make sure that if you're making it obvious for the ladies that it's closed. But again, if you're not totally clear, ladies, always assume closed. Closed, always, yeah? So then, you want to talk about how to make it obvious that it's closed and not promenade?
So promenade is a turn to the right for the lady. Well, actually, there's a number of ways we can achieve it, but the main way we get to promenade in social dancing is to turn the lady to the right, which means my frame goes that way. Outside partner, I'm actually, if anything, going to turn slightly the other way to the left, and that opens everything to the left. So make sure you are not hinting at a right turn when you want to lead this change step. Make sure that it's either absolutely straight or just a little bit left with the rotation. Now, I did have you shift her off slightly to the right, just to get that little bit of space, but in so doing, you don't want to also be turning the frame slightly to the right. You have to make sure that it's either straight or slightly.
Yeah, so guys, your hands can go to the right, but I can't have rotation to the right. I've got to make sure that from here, it just straight across, straight across. If anything, as Jonathan said, just in case you couldn't hear, I actually turn a little to the left. Yeah, so my hands actually go in this direction as opposed to this direction, which will give her a very clear sensation that it's a promenade. Yeah, so just be careful with the shift that you don't also add rotation to it.
Okay, good. All right, I'm now going to talk about oppositional grapevines, and we're going to do almost the same thing, but we're going to go to promenade.
This time to promenade.
So now you get to experiment, figure out the difference between the chain step, which has that no turn or slight left turn, versus the twinkle, which has the right turn. Yes? So as we advance over, we're going to brush and pass the feet versus closing. We're just going to do it close for today. So, twinkle, I now take my frame to the right, put her slightly behind me, and now we're ready to do the grapevines, and we're doing them, again, in opposing directions. We're going really sort of towards and away from each other, as opposed to tandem. So now this foot is going to hook back and fall away. You're going to find that, or sorry, counter fall away. It's going to feel really tight. It's going to be a very small step, quick, and then come back out to promenade again. Slow and quick, which of course changes. Now, ladies, rather than going back first, you'll be going forward first. So now let's try the twinkle version with our partner. So we're going to go 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2. Yes, just a slight change in timing. And then we should try doing this after this to music. Let's do it one more time.
Kind of figure, but in two different dances, and you want to make sure that the character of the dance is held, right? Mm-hmm. So our Foxtrot was the original rise and fall. It was like up and down, and so it's very punchy, right? It's got a very lively look to it. So our waltz, to make it look more like a waltz, right, and not like a weird Foxtrot, what we're going to do is rather than having this really punchy up and down, we're going to have a much more gradual rise and then back down, kind of like pure waltz, right?
It's really a derivative of chasse.
Yeah.
So for those of you who know the chasse from promenade, 1, 2, and 3, you can see it just gradually going up and down. This is the same rise and fall we're going to use on the grapevine. 1 and 2, 3. So we're going gradually up to the 2. Okay, so you don't need to drop down on your hands.
So same figure, slightly different rise and fall, makes it look like a totally different dance. Yeah?
Yeah. All right. Should we hit some music?
Let's hit some music.
Waltz first and Foxtrot second. Right. Slow.
Close the door. And you don't have to worry.
So on the first one, let's do just to experiment. Let's do the first one without changing the heads, and the second one looking over the shoulder, like so. Slow, quick, quick, slow, and quick, quick. Second, slow, and quick, quick, slow. Yeah, mix it up. And quick, quick, quick. Yeah. So that's another option. Let's take a couple of the ideas we've learned. Let's try doing the oppositional ones in promenade, and then we're going to, at the same time, switch to a two-hand hold. In this case, because I'm going to promenade, I'm going to have a hard time switching to a two-hand hold and going to promenade at the same time. Difficult to lead. So I'm going to go to promenade first, slow, quick, quick, and then, while I'm doing my first grapevine, switch to a two-hand hold. Quick.
Wow.
Slow. And quick. Quick, and then close it up again. Possibilities. feel free to mix it up in any way you want. We're meanwhile going to get to, so there's the counter promenade. Yeah, let's do counter promenade. There was also grapevines. I'm running a little short. You can also do them obviously to left. When you do grapevines to left, just as a side note, make sure you're going down the line of dance, which means that instead of facing the wall, doing grapevines to left, and therefore going against the flow of traffic, you would want to be turned around to the other side to do that. Okay? If I have time, I'll get some grapevines to the left. Meantime, we're going to do counter promenade grapevines. Now, counter promenade grapevines, we're also going to do oppositional, meaning towards and away from each other. Counter promenade grapevines also go down the line of dance towards my right side or left side. So we have to get to that position. But before we bother getting to that position, counter promenade grapevines are particularly difficult in closed position because there's not a lot of room. It's not impossible, it's just really, 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 really hard. And no one really wants to do them.
It's uncomfortable.
So it's uncomfortable. So when we do counter promenade grapevines, we're actually going to break open the position and we're going to open that side up, slow and quick. So we got to close on the quick, open side by side for the slow end. So let's try this with our current partner. I'm going to have you stand actually first facing them. Now, gentlemen facing that wall. Ladies facing the shoes. Right?
Nope.
Yes. So now, we're going to get So we're going to open up, release the right to left hand hold, and open up to counter promenade. Open counter promenade.
Release, get on the left foot. There you go.
Step with the inside foot, the one close to your partner, and step forward side. Get close enough that you can get a pancake hold on this side. Then cross behind, quick, and open it up. Good. We'll do that once more. Let me make this one quick time. It's not that you couldn't do slow and quick. It's just going to be a little bit messy. So I'm just going to keep it very simple, just all quicks. Open up, inside foot free, and we've got quick. Then we'll close it up by doing a change again. Yes. All right, good. Step across, slow, quick, ending in side by side position. Most of you are familiar with some of those, sort of the silver syllabus. What's that? Underarm? We can do underarm pass. Slow, quick. Talking about this one?
Yeah.
Slow, quick. We can do that. Sure. All right. So this twinkle now, instead of going down line of dance, we're going to have leaders and followers turn. Leaders turn away from the followers as much as the followers turn away from the leaders. So we're opening up to promenade to go to diagonal center. Leaders from here will step forward, followers, small forward step behind the man, and then step side. And now we can proceed with first grapevine. You notice she's slightly behind me, so she's going to have to kind of circle around first. That is the combination. So let's give this a try with our current partner.
So real quick, girls, he's going to be in your way, right? So right here, we're going to take that one step, and he's going to get right in the way. So you put your foot wherever you have to take your step. So in this case, that's where they go. And then I take a big fat side step on my
Yeah, your three is going to be pretty big, but you will be slightly behind him as big as you might want to step.
So I'm still this way, right?
So then, on the next step, I'm cutting across myself a little bit more, and she's moving down the line of dance more, and by the time we get to the third step, we should be down. Second step.
So that second step is just tiny and wherever it can go. Don't worry about it being a perfect foot placement.
Leaders, you are going to be passing in front of the follower, but don't do it immediately. First step is just through in promenade. Second step is where the transition begins, not where it ends, where the transition begins. So I'm lifting, putting it over my head. But we have an action pass. She's just right behind me. No big deal. Now, that's where the real work is. So,
I don't know that I would hurt the whole.
This is waltz
and
10.
waltz, I would go 1, 2, 3. This next measure is also 3 counts, right? 1, 2, 3. Then we would have 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Yes?
It's waltz.
3, 3. Yes?
I don't know if that makes sense.
3, 3, 4. Yeah, da, da. 4, 3, 3.
Number of steps.
Number of steps per minute. Yes. To tell her to keep going, or to tell her slow, come to a close, right? We've got one hand, right? Like a loose fire hose. Kind of hard to keep. So how does she know I'm doing grapevine? Well, first of all, this grapevine is syncopated. It's a little faster than a 1, 2, 3, right? So she's going to feel, if we have a little tone in the hands and the arms, so that, yeah, she can sense better what I'm doing. And I have a faster momentum through my body as I travel through space. Yeah, and I'm also using that connection to send her back a little bit. So just like we use this hand to knock her off her foot here, I'm using this hand, toning that arm to send her out, bring that through. When I don't want her to do that, after we've done a couple of those, she's going to be expecting another one. I loosen the hold, I bring it back to the dance position, really soft and light and easy. She's not going to be inclined to go running down the floor. So a lot of momentum. Ya da da. Ya da da. And easy. Yes? You don't need to close up right away. Just get to dance position. Just get to dance position in your own body. You can be 8 miles apart. It's cool. Next box, you can always bring it back together. Yes? So tone in the hands. Let's get stand side by side.
Also, girls, don't let your wrist do this. This is how I know that he's turning me, right? So when he turns my hand, if I just let him turn my arm and my wrist and whatever, I've stopped the communication, right? So I need to make sure that this is like,
put a wrist brace.
Like I've got a cast on, right? So this is all one. So as he turns my hand, my whole body has to turn, and that's how I know that there's rotation from this position. Because it's really hard to feel otherwise, yeah?
Take a partner. Hold hands.
Ladies, make that wrist immobile. Hand forward and back, a little round the corner, right? So that it's head back. Because if it's just back, I'll just go straight back. If it's just across, I might go forward, right? So it's going to be back and around, right? So it's kind of on a curve.
Okay.
And the more I keep my wrist straight, the more I can feel that curve.
One more time to waltz. A chain step. 4 grapevines. Let's just do 4 this time. And a chain step. So let's do a twinkle. 4 oppositional grapevines. Close it up. Then let's twinkle diagonal center. Go under the count of promenade grapevines. 4 only. Let's close it up, just so we can fit it all on one side. Yeah? So basically, sequentially, from the beginning of class to the end of class, we'll do those 3 combinations in order. We'll talk you through this once, one group at a time, and then put it all together easily. Run it. Ready with the current partner? This is the first in a many-part series of grapevines we get into later on. And that was Tandem and Oppositional. There's also, of course, rotary grapevines. There's shadow. You can take different dance positions like shadow grapevines. There's so many different varieties of these. And we wanted to at least get you acquainted with the concept and the idea that you can mix these up and change them up in any way you want. There's so much possibility here just with this one step and in so many different dances. So we touched on Foxtrot and waltz today. You can also put these into your tango.
So no rise and fall here.
No rise and fall at all, right? If you did it in tango, it would be more across the floor. Mix them up with swivels. And then even possibly Viennese, more likely though, cha-cha, rumba, all of those dances can have grapevines as well in all of these various combinations. All right, so that'll give you at least a little bit of a taste of it. And for those of you who are silver dancers, you can simply now take your the closing things we were doing and now make them brush and pass instead. But basically these fit anywhere, in almost any dance, any context. All right, thank you very much.